You have to go through the Italians.
But not all the men of the mafia approved of drug dealing, including the public face of Montreal's mafia at the time, Vic Catroni. Catroni didn't like drugs, and he didn't like the Rizzutos. In a battle of mafia wills, the Rizzutos lost. In 1972, Vito and Nick left Montreal.
Instead of getting into a war, I think that Nick decided to move to Venezuela. And from what we know, that's where he became more and more influenced and, I would say, richer.
In Venezuela, the Rizzutos expanded their criminal lives to a global scale. Officially, they owned a factory that made dried milk.
But that was just a cover, because that factory was at the border of Venezuela with Colombia. So a very strategic place to deal with narcotics. The Colombia is one of the major producer country of cocaine.
They became more important because they were the main supplier of heroin in North America. That's where the influence is. That's where the money is. So you always have to look where the influence comes with the money mainly.
In 1978, the Rizzutos took their newfound wealth and power and came home. The last of their Montreal enemies had been murdered, leaving Vito as the uncontested mafia boss here. These were the Rizzutos' golden years. Father and son and their closest friends built mansions on the same street on what is dubbed Mafia Row in Montreal. The lessons of Cattolica were paying off. Vito cut deals with criminal gangs, those that controlled the port and others who distributed drugs. Mafia and bikers working together, an unholy alliance.
It pacified the crime scene in Montreal.
And a peaceful environment is good for crime.
It's good for the business because there is a lot of money involved.
So police tried several times to follow the money. They bugged the places Vito did business, hoping to catch him saying anything illegal.
They used to hang around a little bar on this street here, on Bélanger Street. And at the same place, we observed many times Vito Rizzuto coming over here to have meetings.
But Yvon Gagnon says Vito was smart, always kept a middleman between him and the drugs, and he didn't talk business on the phone.
They were meeting at the bar, walking the street like old mafia style that you see in movies. So that's one reason we were not able to arrest and accuse Vito Rizzuto at that time.
So you had the phone bugged.
They had the phone bugged, but they never used the phone.
Not using a phone didn't hurt business. Andre Bouchard says that during the years of alliance between the mafia and the gangs at the port, drugs poured into the city, and everyone made crazy amounts of money.
I saw the hockey bags of $100 and $20 bills just going in, and counting machines working 24 hours a day.
The RCMP wanted to track the drug money to see how it was laundered. So they set up a sting operation in downtown Montreal, a money exchange office. Where was your office?
The investigative office was over there in that building.
Top floor?
The 5th floor.
And across the street, the currency exchange office, manned by RCMP officers. They watched as the money rolled in.
Some days we could have $5 million, and other days we had only a few $100. It depends. It was depending what the business was like.
And one of the frequent visitors at the office, Joseph Lagana, Vito Rizzuto's lawyer. He was bringing Rizzuto's dirty drug dollars in to be laundered.
Rizzuto's money, was being brought here, exchanged for checks. That was sent by Lagana, then after that, to his Swiss bank account.
So you were able to track it all. Why weren't you able to pin this on Rizzuto?
Because we couldn't link the money directly to the drug transaction that happened at the end.
Best lawyer in the country over here.
And so Vito became known as the Teflon Don. He was rich, powerful, and seemingly untouchable. By 2004, Vito had achieved his father's dream of a criminal empire. But every empire falls eventually. When we come back, Vito Rizzuto, the made man of the mafia, is betrayed by other men of honor.
That was the beginning of the end for Vito Rizzuto.
When they arrest him, it's the end of the world.
How a 20-year-old murder and Italian wiretaps derailed the Rizzuto's crime of a lifetime. The seeds of Vito Rizzuto's downfall were planted here more than a quarter of a century ago. In 1981, Vito did his duty as a made man of the mafia. He participated in the murder of 3 members of the Bonanno crime family.
On sait que Vito a prouvé qu'il était un homme d'honneur aussi.
Vito had to prove he was a man of honor, says Ivan Gagnon. He needed the support of the New York mafia families.
Je pense qu'à ce moment-là, qu'il s'est fait un nom.
The triple murder went unsolved for 20 years. Then, in a fit of self-preservation, some powerful mafia bosses ratted Vito out.
Thanks to them, the FBI was able to put together a case against Rizzuto and unveiled the triple murder of 3 captains in 1981. I think that was the beginning of the end for